Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and so today we have a Kohl's ScentWorx haul of the new holiday candles from ScentWorx. So yeah, I think Tiffany_Vanessa35 on Instagram posted a photo that was originally from @MediaTones of 3 new holiday ScentWorx candles that have surfaced at the Kohl's stores. And so I was like, oh my god, let me see if my store has them. And then so when you go on Kohls.com, there's like a whole slew of like returning holiday Christmas candles on the website that when you punch it in, it actually says it's available to pick up in many of the stores around at least my area. But they didn't list any of the new ones. So I went into the store and I asked the sales associate, I'm like, hey, there's a few Christmas ones online that say they're available in store, and none of them were on display. But I was like, I'm not looking for the ones that are listed as available in the store, but do possibly have these new ones in the back. And then after she did some shuffling around in the back, she came back with the 3 fragrances that I requested. So that's today's haul. There might be more new fragrances coming, but the 3 were just the 3 that I happened to ask for. So I don't know if there's more new ones coming. There might be, because there was a lot of new fall ones. So I do have the 3 new ones today. And then in the second half of the video, I wanted to do kind of like a fall rewind or a fall recap of my ScentWorx purchases from fall, just because I had a few questions from the Instagram live, or specifically one person asked how they were. So I figured I'd give my thoughts on how all the fall ones did, because I didn't do individual reviews on all of them. So if you're interested in any of that, then stay tuned and we'll get right into it. So the first candle that I have is the Iced Vanilla Frosting, and let me say the packaging is just absolutely A+ on this. Oh my gosh, so I have a friend who just loves this blue color, and I'm sure he'd be all over this. But there's even like glitter details on the label as well. It has white wax, and it has the same like thick rope-like wicks that did really well for me from the fall season. And the notes on this one read, creamy vanilla, cool peppermint, sugar crystals, and whipped buttercream frosting. And this one smells a lot like the HomeWorx birthday cake to me. So it's very much like that vanilla creamy cake batter frosting type of fragrance, and I have birthday cake with me. And so birthday cake is available on HomeWorx.shop, I believe. And this one is vanilla cake, whipped cream, caramelized sugars, and happy wishes. This one's a little bit more cakey, maybe? I don't know, they're actually quite similar, but this one kind of smells plasticky on Kohl, but when you go to burn it, it really like transforms. It's like amazing, like one of the best like basic vanilla cake batter frosting fragrances. Yeah, they're actually quite similar. So if you like birthday cake from HomeWorx, I think you'll like Iced Vanilla Frosting. It just really is, as the name says. It's kind of like a juicy, awesome, basic vanilla with like that cake batter, the vanilla bean, and the frosting. It does say cool peppermint on this. There is just a very smidge of peppermint just in the back. I don't know if I would pick that out if it didn't say on there, but it's not at all like peppermint marshmallow or even twisted peppermint or crushed candy cane, where it's like heaps of that peppermint. Not really. It doesn't have like that menthol vibe that like twisted peppermint or peppermint marshmallow has. It's more so like just the cake batter vanilla frosting, just an awesome decadent like, you know, vanilla frosting fragrance, and the packaging is like to die for. So that's Iced Vanilla Frosting. I believe body care of that is coming because it's already available on ScentWorx.shop or HomeWorx.shop. The body care has already been up there for a while. So that was the first one, which was Iced Vanilla Frosting. And the next one we have is Vanilla Pine, which I was super excited about this one. And that's what this looks like. It has like a hunter green glass on it, and it has that label. This one has a green wax and has the same like thick rope-like wicks right there. This one reads pine needles, spun vanilla sugar, fresh balsam, and winter woods. And this one's just lukewarm on cold, honestly, because once again, I had my mask on in the store and the lady was kind enough to bring them out from the back. I just kind of like grab them and go, and I didn't dissect them. So it's kind of like, let me see what they smell like when I actually get in my car and I've already purchased them. So of course, the first thing you think of is it going to be similar to Vanilla Balsam from BBW, which is friggin' excellent. This is one of my favorite candles. It's balsam fir, frosted vanilla, and snow-capped pine needles. This is way better, to be honest. Just that vanilla is just so much richer and juicy. It's like a cool like ice cream vanilla mixed with just the beautiful like fresh balsam fragrance, which Slatkin and Kohl made fresh balsam, so props to them. But yeah, it has that beautiful fresh balsam that we all know and love. Like this is just a gorgeous, perfect blend of the balsam and vanilla. And this one, judging by the notes, you would think would be the same type of fragrance. Yeah, this one's just nowhere near as good as Vanilla Balsam, at least on cold. You get a pine, but it's just kind of like plasticky, underwhelming. And the vanilla is not like a cool, creamy vanilla that you get in Vanilla Balsam, or that like ice cream type of vanilla that I get. Not at all like that. The vanilla is actually quite subdued in the background. I just get like a slight, almost like a cinnamon cookie vibe to it. So like but it all smells kind of plasticky and just very like meh. So I don't know. This one I think I have burn and hope maybe it like transforms when it's burning. But on cold, it's kind of underwhelming. And would I even go to vanilla pine if I didn't know what the candle was supposed to be? I don't think so. I was just thinking it was some kind of like slightly off plasticky pine fragrance. So this one I'm not too hot about, but it's a new fragrance and I'm really hoping maybe it'll be better. I know is there a vanilla pine from Homeworx that was like there for like a hot second and it sold out immediately? I didn't buy any of that. I know a lot of the reviews said they didn't really love that one, so I can't really compare to that one, but that was vanilla pine from ScentWorx. The last one we have is Butter Rum Eggnog, and this one also has a very enticing label. I just like these labels and jars have really grown on me. I just freaking love them. This one also has white wax and it's a cream colored wax with the thick rope like wicks right there. This one says sweet buttercream, dark rum, nutmeg, and raisin. This one's not very strong on cold, so I can still smell it, but it's just not very strong, especially for what I thought would be a really strong, like punch you in your face type of fragrance. You get caramel that's kind of like in the route of like a butterscotch type of fragrance, but once again, very subdued, mixed with a slight creamy milkiness. And you do actually get a little bit of a raisin in there. It's not overly boozy like some of their other boozy Homeworx fragrances that exist. It's not really super alcoholic in a rum note. But there is a slight like raisin rum type of note chilling in the background, but it's not super strong. It's just mainly like a caramel butterscotch butter like drink type of creamy milkiness exists in there, but it's all very quite subdued for a fragrance that I would think would be stronger. So that was the Butter Rum Eggnog right there. The Homeworx has a eggnog, spiked eggnog that is even more creamier than that, a little less caramel, and that one is actually quite boozy. It's actually really heavy on the like spiked portion of it that I actually didn't really care for that one. So this one doesn't have as much alcohol as the Homeworx version that I didn't really care for. So we'll see how that one does. Comparisons to the same name of Butter Rum Eggnog from Bath & Body Works. This one is spiced eggnog, vanilla, bourbon, rich buttercream, and shaved nutmeg. This one's more distinctly eggnog and more of that vanilla bean marshmallow buttercream icing candle that we get from BBW, which is also very similar to vanilla pumpkin marshmallow. It's more of that creamy vanilla richness and less emphasis on the caramel or the butterscotch from the ScentWorx version. And this one this one's more like a decadent, juicy, like vanilla bean type of fragrance and less carameline. So that's kind of how it compares to the ScentWorx versions. And then I believe that was it for the new fragrances that I could find, or at least the ones the sales associate was able to locate. But there are a few more online that are returning that I remember smelling last year, but I wasn't too impressed with them on cold, so I never picked them up. And that's Holiday Cheers, Peppermint Swirl, Oh Christmas Tree, Cinnamon Wreath, and Sugar Cookie. And I believe Sugar Cookie is actually a repackage of the all year round Sugar Cookie that's out all the time. So I didn't, I think she had a lot of those in the back, but I didn't ask for them just because I remember smelling them from last year. Once they're out on the floor, maybe I'll revisit them and see if they do better. But I'm excited to see if there's any other new ones, especially so is that there's a winter sugared apple body care already on ScentWorx.shop, and usually there's an accompanying candle with their body care fragrances. So I'm hoping that one's in the back. I kind of asked her for it, but she kept getting confused thinking I was looking for a lotion. I was like, no, I just want the candle, but it is what it is. So if that one ever surfaces, I will be interested in that. And of course, there is Peppermint Swirl and Gingerbread Spice available on the Homeworx.shop website as well. And I believe that's it for the new Christmas stuff. I'll try start burning them. I'm hoping the last two, the vanilla pine and the butter rum eggnog, will maybe transform a little bit better when I go to burn it. But the ice vanilla frosting is quite promising on cold, so we'll see how those go. And then let me just do a very quick recap of the fall collection and we'll go from there. So overall, the fall ones were great. I actually really enjoyed using them. They were like really a like head-to-head go-to to my Bath and Body Works candles that I always go for, and same with Homeworks as well. I like that they're in Kohl stores, so they're easily accessible, and the price point is pretty reasonable as well. And if they don't burn well or if they're unscented, like I had no issues returning one of them right to the customer service counter, and they took it back and no questions asked and just refunded it. So that's really good too, which that is not the case with Homeworks candles that you can't really return very easily to QVC or Homeworks.shop, and you can return them to Ulta though, so there's at least that. But so that's a plus for the ScentWorx, is that they're at an actual brick and mortar store, so you can return them, so I do enjoy that. And overall, I had a really good luck with all of them. There was just like maybe one or two that was kind of like weak or unscented, but I'll get to that here in a moment. But compared to the ScentWorx from the very first batch that I tried and I wrote off for many seasons after that, much an improvement. Even the hand soap and the body care I'm really enjoying. So like ScentWorx is totally viable. Like they're available readily at Kohl's. The packaging is super juicy and enticing. The throw is fine on them, and I haven't had any that have nubbed out on me. The wicks seem to be, rectified the issues from what I had from the first season. So like total thumbs up from me, and like it's to the point that, I was really excited to check out these new winter ones, and I was chomping on the bit to get them out the back or whatever. And I did actually buy these myself, so it's a genuine thought. It's not like they were sent to me in PR or anything like that. So just putting that out there. So the first one we have that I really enjoyed was Harvest Apple Orchard right here. This one was super juicy. It's just like a really juicy, awesome, super sweet, like almost like an apple vanilla fragrance. It's creamy. It has almost like a taffy feel to it. It's like a creamy, like green apple taffy, or like a Starburst chew type of fragrance. It was absolutely delicious. It was really strong too. The only thing with these is that you really have to be on top of the wicks, because if you keep them too long, they do soak quite a bit. So I trim them pretty generously, and they don't soak, but they don't drown either. So I was really happy with the performance on that. This one did great, just a vicious burn and super strong throw. So I really enjoyed Harvest Apple Orchard. It also has an accompanying body care as well that I did pick up, and I really enjoyed this one as well. I enjoyed the French Vanilla Pumpkin more, but this one's still pretty good. These just don't lather as much as the BBW shower gel does, but the fragrances are still so top notch that I'm willing to put up with a little less lather. You just use a little bit more and it's fine. It's not as luxurious of a lather as BBW, but it's still like the fragrance is so good that I'm willing to put up with it. So that's Harvest Apple Orchard has a accompanying body care and hand soap as well. The next one we have that people were really raving about from last year, but I actually personally did not care for, it's one of my least favorite, is Blueberry Pumpkin right here. This one burned fine too. It was plenty strong, had no issues with the performance. This one just smells kind of like burnt popcorn mixed with like stale blueberries. I didn't really care for it. It's vanilla bean, blueberry, white pumpkin, and whipped vanilla. It has that same burnt popcorn note that French Vanilla Pumpkin had in the candle when I tried it from the first year. It didn't really evoke blueberry pumpkin to me. It's just more like blueberry like popcorn, which is kind of strange. So I didn't love it. It's not terrible, but it's not a repurchase. Super juicy packaging though. So that was Blueberry Pumpkin for me. The next one, which was super strong, lingered for like hours afterwards, and in my personal experience, this one was really great, was Pumpkin Candy Corn right here. Does it really smell like candy corn? I don't really know, but it kind of smells just like a mix of like different fall candies. The maple in here is super strong, and the honey and the vanilla is pretty much what I get from this. There is a powdered sugar component in there as well that gives it like a sort of powdery coating texture to it. I did a whole review on this, so I don't really have to go into it, but mine was super strong, performed great, had no issues with it. So that was Pumpkin Candy Corn, and this one's just totally fun for like a Halloween display if you're into that kind of stuff. So Pumpkin Candy Corn right there. We then have Spiced Pumpkin Apple. This one I loved on cold because it really smells like a juicy, perfectly executed like apple pumpkin or pumpkin apple fragrance, similar to like Yankees apple pumpkin or BBW's pumpkin apple, and also similar to the like Homeworx spiced apple crumb, which is also very similar to the deep dish apple pie, which is also very similar to their apple pumpkin pie. So in that fragrance family of that quintessential like pumpkin apple blend, this one was spiced pumpkin apple, ginger, and cinnamon. This one burned fine too, but this one actually started smelling kind of smoky and grody by like the most recent burn that I had, which I didn't love about that. This was the only one that turned kind of smoky on me, but beside that, like it still smells great on cold. So I don't know, the smokiness must just come from the wicks and the flame, but this one was probably the most lightest like very much in the light category, not even medium. So that was kind of like points off for it, even though the fragrance smells great on Kohl. So that was the spiced pumpkin apple right there. Might be still suitable in a smaller bedroom though. We then have hot apple cider, and that's what this one looks like. You can see I did bring this one to the mid-range point as well. This one performed fine too. This was Honeycrisp cider, brown sugar, golden pear, and an autumn spice. This is just our quintessential apple cider, hot apple cider, mulled apple cider kind of fragrance. Very similar to Leaves, but doesn't have that extra deep, like fermented, juicy, like berry apple infused fermented action that Leaves has. It's not quite as like intense as Leaves, but very similar, just your usual apple cider type of fragrance. Very pleasant and very like appropriate for fall, and gives you all the cozy, like basic fall vibes. And it's like a well executed apple cider, doesn't smell plasticky or anything. This was just like a very medium throw. It wasn't as strong as like my pumpkin candy corn or the Harvest Apple Orchard, but not as weak as the spiced pumpkin apple. So that was hot apple cider right there. And lastly, my favorite, friggin' love this one, even though it's not super strong, but willing to put up with it. It's Toasted Pumpkin S'mores, delicious. Like this one I would consider, if they go on seasonal clearance, I would probably be very tempted to pick up another one. This is pumpkin puree, fluffy marshmallow, white chocolate, and toasted graham cracker. This one I've been really going to town with, and it burns totally fine. It hasn't done the smoky thing or anything like that. It still has a slight like funkiness of like a weird like sweet feet fragrance, but I kind of get over and I don't mind that just because it gives it that authentic kind of spiced graham cracker note to it. This smells just like a s'mores fragrance, and it's friggin' excellent. Very similar to the Italy Cannoli and Chocolate from Bath & Body Works, so if you like that and missed out on it, this is very similar to that. Just a super awesome, like excellent, authentic s'mores fragrance with a little bit of a weird, like spicy note that kind of smells like, you know, graham crackers and feet. But once again, I don't mind that. It smells great. And there's even more of a spiced fragrance in the hand soap that I really enjoy as well. So that was the Toasted Pumpkin S'mores right here. Love this one. Medium throw, I would say, to like light into medium, that kind of range, but I'm still willing to put up with it, and I love burning it in my 2 bedrooms, and I get total satisfaction out of it that way. So friggin' love that one. The other one that I bought that I returned was White Pumpkin Chai. Smelled great on Kohl, smelled like a chai frothy creamy fragrance with a little bit of that like sort of chai tea fragrance in the background. Loved it on Kohl, but was absolutely unscented when you go to burn it. So that one I actually returned and got a refund for it, because I'm like, I don't want to spend $17 on an unscented candle. So that one I burned like twice or 3 times, and they took it back no problem. So that was the one like super dud out of the collection. But overall, pretty good, and I really enjoy them, and they're a total viable like candle brand that I really like go reaching for. I love the like consistency in the labels and everything. It just like soothes my soul. So really good luck with that. And then lastly, we have some hand soaps that I've been really, oh my God. So the ScentWorx foaming hand soaps are definitely my go-to now. Once again, not sponsored, not PR, literally just bought these myself. As you know, the BBW foaming hand soaps really dry out my hands like crazy, like just totally demolish my hands. And so what I did was I exclusively used the ScentWorx foaming hand soaps for like a month to 2 months, and those are the only hand soaps I used, and my hands did not get anywhere near as dry as the BBW ones do. So I was kind of able to like isolate it to just those hand soaps, and I didn't get like the what am I talking about? The bloody red and knuckles that I get from like the BBW ones, and just like the dry cracked skin. It's terrible. And I like foaming hand soap as well versus like the gooey thick gel ones. So these are like totally my go-to, and I've been really loving them, and the fragrance is like unique and excellent. Just I can't rave enough about them. They're usually about like $5 on sale at Kohl's. As soon as the Christmas ones comes out, I'm definitely going to go for them and use that as like my holiday fragrances. I'm really excited to see what comes down the pipeline for the Christmas ones for ScentWorx. French Vanilla Pumpkin, oh my God, I absolutely love this one. It smells like white chocolate macadamia cookies with a huge heaps of like just the juiciest, most decadent butter with a nutty fragrance and just a tad bit of spice. The hand soap has a slight like body care, musky undertone to it that just makes it even a little bit more sophisticated, more French vanilla. Friggin' love it. I absolutely love it. This one, it's not quite as foaming as like the BBW one is, but like maybe the trade-off is that because it's not quite as foaming and like rich when you put it on your like hands, that it's not as drying, and I'm totally willing to take that trade-off. Like I can still get one good juicy pump out of this and it still like, you know, lathers and does its job. So if you really want like a ton of lather or like foam coming out of it, maybe 2 pumps, but I have no qualms with them whatsoever because they are like not drying like the BBW ones are. So friggin' love the French vanilla pumpkin. And as you can see, the toasted pumpkin s'mores is almost done. Love this one too. Smells like the candle. It still has a little bit of funkiness in there, but it smells super strong and delicious on my hands. I just absolutely love it. So like the hand soaps, I'm totally happy with. Like I hope they continue to bring out like seasonal ScentWorx fragrances in the hand soap because I'm totally gonna buy those, and those will be my go-to foaming hand soaps going forward. And then lastly, we have the French vanilla pumpkin shower gel, which oh my god, love this one too. This one doesn't have quite that bit of that sort of like musky body care undertone, so I kind of miss that because I really enjoy that from the hand soap, but it's still super delicious and decadent, and it smells like you're kind of like, you know, bathing yourselves with buttery white chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies mixed with a sprinkle of pumpkin spice. Once again, doesn't lather as much as the BBW ones, but the fragrance is so top notch that I'm willing to put up with it. Excellent. Love this one. I like when I first got this, I used it for like a week solid. Even though I'm somebody who usually switches out my shower gel every day, I just couldn't get enough of it. So yeah, really jazzed and thrilled with a lot of the ScentWorx products, and I'm really enjoying them. So hopefully the Christmas ones will be a little bit better than they are on Kohl because I'm kind of a little underwhelmed with them. But once again, still looking forward to the body care and the hand soaps as well. Let me know your thoughts on ScentWorx if you try them out. I think the price point is reasonable. The packaging is really pretty and enticing. Unfortunately, you can't use discounts or coupons on it, so that kind of sucks, but you can still get Kohl's Cash if they're doing a Kohl's Cash promo, and you can use Kohl's Cash on it as well. So at least there's that. So yeah, your other best bet is just to wait for them to go on clearance after the season ends. So that is pretty much it. Let me know your comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.